As the wind erodes and the water corrodes, altering everything we think we know, but we don't. It's all temporary, and it used to, but now the thought doesn't scare me or keep my feet from following one after another until I slumber. Then my mind, not my feet, wander and dream of people and places I'll never see again. I've mended as much mental anguish as I can, and now I try to use this language to take these thoughts from my head to my pen. Cause though I don't speak of my dead friends or the circumstances, often the blow never softens or yields. I'm in a desolate field, lonesome stargazing, night blazing, chasing traces of remembrance and reverence of relevant friends and acquaintances, and faceless and nameless names and faces. And while my mind is racing through these photo albums and quotations, all these people and places far from me, for only land and stars I see when I'm outside of the Mile High City, which is not my city, for I was born 1,000 miles northeast of there, in the land of beer and lakes and pistol fire on MLK's birthday, where there is no minorities and segregation's mandatory. But that's a whole nother story altogether, and no matter the weather or hardships that any place brings, I'll still laugh when people shiver and say it's freezing, or say no, wait, I already had 18 mixed drinks. It's West brought most of the feet.
Here we are on episode 39 of Experience Andy Weins Live. Today, we're going to be talking about life hacks. I was approached recently talking about what I do to make me great. Today, that's what we're digging into.
Honestly, I don't know where this road leads, or if I'm even going. Could be rowing upstream, or worse, chasing my dreams to the peak, to finally be somebody doing something with what I have, rather than saying again and again that I can't and I won't anymore from this day forward. Cause Lord knows the past is set in stone, the present is yours to mold and to use for future uses. I know I'm a nuisance, I'm told, cause I'm neither young nor giant nor gnome. I don't sleep on these streets usually, though I've made thrones of my own. I don't sit well with idle hands, though don't know what to do when I'm home all alone. I'm a man thrown from society, and as it lies to me, I'll smile silently as others do as they please. I am watching and listening, and I'm grinning all the while, cause sometimes all you can really do is smile. So as the work labors on, I'll keep on singing my songs, and this day is never done. We just keep on spinning around that sun. And well, through all these miles and trials, all I've learned to do is smile. Is to smile.
Welcome to another episode of Experience Andy Weins Live. We had some audio issues going on right there. I don't know what's going on. I mean, that's all right. We are here, and that's the most important thing. Okay, so today, we always start with a moment of gratitude, things that I am thankful for. I am extremely thankful for my extended family. So I have a great family on my mom's side and my dad's side. I grew up with 20 plus cousins on both sides of family. My mom and dad both have 8 siblings. So we grew up with big families. And yesterday we did Christmas in July in June, which is our own family tradition we started 10 plus years ago when the weather became problematic in the winter sometimes for us to travel. So it's turned into a family reunion, white elephant extravaganza. And what I love about that is I get to reconnect with people that are important to my life, and they remember me at different times in my life, and I remember them at different times in their lives, and then we get to come back together and relive these memories. And now I get to see this next generation. So the picture of the siblings is 8-10 people. Then the picture of the cousins is 20, and then you bring in the cousins and their significant others. And the kids, and all of a sudden it's 40-50 people deep. And so I'm extremely thankful to have such a large extended family and a group of diverse personalities and perspectives that have shaped me and molded me all of my life. So that I'm thankful for. So for you guys that have great family members out there, lean into those. And for me, I'm also excited because I get to spend a lot of time with them individually throughout the year. So it's a good reminder of who I have in my life that I can reach out to, and I don't I don't need to wait for a holiday or a reunion to have this mindset that these people are available to me. So I'm extremely grateful for that. All right, second thing, order of business. Words fucking matter. A book I wrote, a book I love, a book that governs a thing I do in life. This one is, well, it's all full of coffee stains because I have it pretty much next to me at all times, and that's where I put my coffee cup. It's available on Amazon. It's also available in person. If you see me on the street, I do hawk them on the back of my Jeep. It's also available on Amazon audio version. However you take in content, this is the base of a lot of my methodology I use here on the show and how I live my life. So the book is available for your consumption. And as always, I love hearing people's feedback. For those people that have read the book, that listen to this show, I love to hear your feedback as I'm developing my next couple books, and that thought leadership continues. The more I get feedback, the more the thought leadership evolves. So I appreciate all the feedback. All right, today's episode is all about a piece of feedback I got last week. I was at a networking event, and a woman came up to me and she said, I don't need these on anymore. A woman came up to me, I've known for, I don't know, a year or 2, 3 years, whatever it's been. And she said, I asked her, I said, do you have any decaf coffee? She's like, well, we only have regular. Why do you need decaf? I said, because I only drink one regular cup of coffee a day, 90 minutes after I wake up, because I heard from Andrew Huberman. That's the ideal time. If you're going to have caffeine, have one cup. And by doing that, it allows your brain and body to fully wake up because all the chemicals get released. And then you don't have the afternoon crash, right? That's it. Again, you can look into Andrew Huberman's videos and the science behind it and the data behind it. And so I drink decaf. It's my placebo right now. Whenever you see me drinking coffee here this late in the afternoon, it's decaf. I enjoy the taste of coffee. I like the bitterness of it. That's how I like it. And yet it's one of the life hacks that I've learned and developed the last few years, and I've implemented. And so she said, and then we got talking some more. She's like, oh, grab something to eat. I said, no, it's too early for me to eat. It was about 9 a.m. And I said, I break my fast every day at noon, right? Breakfast, break fast. So I break my fast every day at noon because I go 16 hours of not eating every day, because I heard a speaker in October of 22 in New York talking about, if you want to live forever, here's some life hacks. And one of them was fasting at least 16 hours a day, at least 5 days a week, 5 out of the 7 days, right? That was interesting. He also talked about walnuts and hormone therapy and taking different pills and, getting so much sunlight and not enough sunlight, all these different things, right? And the one thing I took away from him was fasting. And I realized, wow, I feel better when I go 16 hours a day. I feel better when I only have my one cup of regular coffee a day, and I do not have those afternoon crashes as often, and I sleep better, right? So it's like, all right, well, what else? And then she said, you really need to talk about these life hacks, all these things that you do that you're very particular about, that you maintain discipline on. So this was on Thursday. So on Friday, when I was in my Vistage CEO roundtable, which I go to every month religiously, right? Another life hack. I wrote them down. There was a break in the action. So I wrote down all my life hacks, and I'm going to share them with you, because most of the life hacks I have are around my physical body. And when my physical body is rested and digested and aware of my surroundings, that's when my brain is at its best. So we talked about fasting. Other thing, no drugs, no alcohol, no swearing. I swear, absolutely. I don't know why I wrote smoking. No smoking. I even looked at it and thought, that's not swearing, that's smoking. And then I had the word swearing in my head. Absolutely, I swear. Have you seen my book? All right. No drugs. So the last time I had any drugs was in June of 2002. The last time I had a cigarette was actually tomorrow is my 15-year anniversary of not having a cigarette. And I know that because my godson turned 15 today. And I remember visiting him in the hospital the day he was born. And then I went and played volleyball that night. I smoked Camel Lights at the time. It was at Risky River playing sixes. And we were having a shit day playing volleyball. And I smoked a cigarette before our last game, and it did not make me feel any better. And it was my last cigarette in the pack. And I was like, screw it. I'm not buying cigarettes on my way home. I was angry. The top was off my Jeep. And when you drive a Jeep with the top off, it's difficult to smoke cigarettes. And then the next morning, I decided not to stop at the gas station and get cigarettes. I started a new job that month. I started a new job doing concrete work in June of 2009. I started bartending around that same time. And I go, okay, right. I'm developing these other new habits. If there's ever a time to quit smoking, it's now. And I had stopped smoking a few times. I did the hypnotherapy. I did the eat one of your favorite foods every time you think about smoking a cigarette. I did the cold turkey, and I kept restarting smoking every time I did something with the Army. I restarted when I was after basic training. I restarted when I was training out for Iraq. I remember one time I went to a 2-week field training, WLC, Warrior Leadership Course. It was a 2-week school, and I went the first 8 or 9 days without a cigarette. And then we went to the field for 4 days. And on our way out to the field, I bought a pack of cigarettes from a guy as we were rucking out. And then I became a smoker again. I bought a pack on the way out the gate, and I became a smoker again. So there we go. So that's the last time I had a cigarette. Totally deviated there. So no cigarettes. I haven't had a cigarette in 15 years. Alcohol. Last time I had a drink was March 18th of last year. And that one is very simple. Again, Andrew Huberman, and also Danny O'Malley, a gentleman that I interviewed. He started Vet TV. He's also started Irreverent Warriors. These are 2 veteran organizations. He's the guy that I absolutely look up to in the veteran community. And I interviewed him about a year and a half ago on another podcast I had. And I said, what's the one thing you've noticed with veterans that all veterans should know? And he said, in as many words as I'll say it now, alcohol is not our friend. And at the time I was struggling with drinking because I'm fine drinking. I can go and have a drink or two. I never had a drinking problem. I say I had a problem drinking because I would drink and then I would often drive or do other things that were inconsistent with how I otherwise wanted to live my life. And so instead of stopping myself from driving or saying stupid shit or doing stupid shit, it was simpler for me to stop drinking. And so I decided on March 19th last year at a celebration of life for a gentleman who was really close to me, that I did not want to have a drink. And I've stayed that way since. The other thing, all right, some of the things, so those are things I stopped doing, right? I started going to the gym almost 2 years ago because I was realizing I was having all these issues with my knees in particular. And then I could start feeling in my elbows, and then it was in my shoulders. And it's like, well, shit, Andy, you're getting old. And by not doing some level of strength training, you're going to continue to hurt your body. So now 2 days a week, typically it's Mondays and Thursdays. And I do Mondays and Thursdays. So I have a 2-day full break rest in between. And I have Tuesday, Friday as my backup days, right? So 2 days of strength training a week, it's 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes and I sweat my ass off and I feel exhausted when I leave. I also do at least 2 weeks or 2 days of playing volleyball. So that's 60 minutes twice a week, 180 minutes every week, bar none, that I'm getting aerobatic, whatever. Cardio. We'll call it cardio. That's a word I understand and can say. I'm getting my cardio on, right? The nice thing about all that time is I'm not on my phone during those times. I am addicted to my phone. My phone is never far away. And I realize that when I am out playing volleyball, when I am at the gym, my phone's not there. So it's also a great mental break. And the nice thing about volleyball too is I'm a team member, and it reminds me, hey, it's good to be a team member. I don't not necessarily always be in charge. And so to be a teammate, and I always make my volleyball games because I made a commitment to my team. Another habit, I unsubscribe from things that make me angry. It's a political year. I get sucked into that crap. So I unsubscribe from Fox News and CNN and MSNBC. I unfollow people on Facebook that I went to high school with and post political shit that get me fucking riled up. I snooze or block news articles on Facebook or news, just block them. That's it. I block them. There was a thing that popped up the other day, and a person I went to high school with, and I was like, oh my God, I can't. Like, I was getting worked up wanting to argue with this person. I'm like, you know what? Just either unfollow them, unfriend them, block them, and move on with my fucking life. That's it, right? It is stopping those negative energy and negative thoughts, because me arguing with somebody on Facebook does not make the world a better place, right? There's that old adage, right? If you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's bullshit, right? When you have nothing productive to say, listen. And so when I follow that, I listen to other people. I say, okay, you're willing to die on that hill. I'm not willing to die on that hill. You want to have that perspective, have it. I'm going to take my ball and go somewhere else, right? Especially when it's a no-win proposition. Religion, politics, on the social media is a no-win proposition. Now, when I have a vested interest in somebody, when I'm meeting somebody in person, when I'm sitting down with someone, breaking bread, sharing a meal, then let's have a conversation and learn from each other. Let me hear your perspective, not random person I went to Facebook with that I do not agree with on social media, right? Otherwise, I'm going to start calling them names, and name calling gets us nowhere in life. Bedtime. I have a bedtime of 2300, 11 o'clock on my phone. And so all my things shut down at 2300, and my screen goes black, or not black, it grays out. And that's when I start my bedtime routine per se, because my ideal circadian rhythm is midnight to 8 a.m. And I've tested this. I've gone to bed early. I've stayed up late. I've done all these things. And I know I'm at my absolute best when I'm sleeping by midnight, and I sleep when I plan to wake up around 8 o'clock, and I normally will wake up around 7:15, 7:30. Like this morning, I woke up about like 7:21 uninterrupted because I went to bed and I followed my bedtime. So I again, I'm a 40-year-old adult, right, who has a bedtime and has a pre-planned life hack on my phone so that I can say, oh, hey, Andy, it's time to wind down. And I'm not like, oh, I need to be to bed by 9. And there's days I'm not home from volleyball till 9, 10, or even 11, right? So it's like, no, I got to play within the parameters that work for me. And there's also that adage like, oh, millionaires of the world wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and get more shit done before 9 a.m. I did that, and I was not at my absolute best, and I recognized that about myself. Pink noise. Pink noise is something I implemented 6 months ago, 9 months ago, maybe. I love the sound of a fan. I get distracted easily. I lay awake in thoughts all the time. And I did white noise for a while, and I never got hooked onto it. I started doing pink noise, and it was life changing. So white noise blocks out general noises. Brown noise is great for concentration. Pink noise is great for sleep. And I use that. So I use pink noise every single night. I set my timer to it so it goes off about a minute before my alarm. And when I have it where I have my pink noise shut off at a time and I do not have an alarm, I wake up almost instantly as soon as the pink noise is off. So having that pink noise. The other thing I have as far as sleep, since we're in that vein, I have automatic blinds at my house. I put them in my bedroom, and I have automatic blinds hooked up to my app. So they are timed out. So they start slowly going up 5 minutes before my proposed wake time, right? All these things I'm doing, right? I create a blackout scenario in my room. So, right, I'm on the impression it's night still. And then I'm removing noise, which blocks me out. I'm letting my blinds go up. So now I'm waking up at the time I want to in a more natural state. And I wake up more energized versus I want to hit the snooze, because my natural inclination is to hit the snooze. So what do I need to do? How do I need to change the situation around me so that my natural inclinations and my undisciplined self kicks in? The thing I wrote the other day to one of that'll be in my new book. My new book I'm writing with Blake, my HR guy, is called Phrases Fucking Matter. And it's all about, actually, next week's episode is going to be your battle cries. And so I'm going to introduce the book a little bit more. Phrases fucking matter. Battle cries allow you to win the day. It's going to be something like that. We're going to focus on how to go from a fixed to a growth mindset. Anyway, so one of the battle cries I gave him last week, I was working with a woman. I'm doing consulting work, and it popped in me. And I said, it is process creates discipline. Discipline creates freedom. So all these life hacks are processes that I implement daily, weekly, typically daily, right? And what it does is it creates the discipline. The process creates the discipline, because now I know what right looks like. And I can say to myself objectively, yes or no. Did I start my sleep time routine at 2300? Was I sleeping by midnight? Did I put on my pink noise? Did I wake up before my alarm? Did I feel well rested when I woke up? Versus, how was my night of sleep? Did I have a good day? Right? I make it as objective as possible. So then in self-reflection, I can say, okay, Andy, am I living my best life, or am I guessing and occasionally hitting the target? Costco runs. Here we go. I love me some Costco. With the exception of fried chicken, there's nothing I can think of that I need to go to another store for. Costco has it. And also it limits my shopping. I do not go shopping that often. This came like 10 years ago. I heard Mark Cuban say, never go out and buy a tube of toothpaste. for all your consumables, toilet paper, toothpaste, whatever, deodorant, the things that you know you're going to use. There's a cadence. Toothpaste lasts, I don't know what, 4 to 6 weeks, maybe. Deodorant, a couple, 3, 4 weeks. I don't, right? Buy all that shit in bulk. What ends up happening is you make significantly less runs to the grocery store. You're budgeting yourself, so you're not like, oh shit, now I need to go buy toilet paper and paper towel, and now I don't have the money, because you've already got it in the closet. It's already there. It's ready to go, right? I'm like everybody else. I go to Costco or I go to Target. It's $100. A tube of toothpaste at Target is going to cost me $100 because they are marketing geniuses, and the smell of the store makes my fucking wallet open, right? So I avoid walking into the Target. And that's what all these life hacks do. Avoid the temptation of making a decision, because you already have a process in place. So whether it's toilet paper, paper towel, toothpaste, deodorant, soap in my shower, soap dispensers at my kitchen sink. What else? Hair, like my ex got mad. She's like, "Why do you use Head and Shoulders? You don't have dandruff." I'm like, "Because Costco sells it. That's why." That is my decision-making matrix, right? Does Costco sell it? Yes. Is it for men? Yes. Okay. What are we doing here? Right? And then it's 2 in 1 product. That is it's that running joke with men versus women. It's like, yeah, well, it's that simple, right? Again, simple disciplines. I buy what Costco offers. Also, Costco has like some of the stringent process to get stuff on their shelves, because it is a very desired place to get a pallet, at a Costco location. They've already done the fucking research. They know this is the best. They've already negotiated with their suppliers to get us a good deal, right? I pay my $120 a month so that I can go there in and out. The amount of money and time I save throughout the year by buying everything in bulk consistently is astronomical compared to the people that go to the grocery store or Target 2-3 days a week. It blows my mind that people say, "Oh yeah, no, what are you doing tonight?" "Oh, I'm going to the Target." It's like, "Weren't you there 3 days ago?" "Oh yeah, well, I forgot to get this and this." And it's like, for fuck's sake, go for a walk, read a book, go to the fucking gym, do something that moves your life forward, right? That's what this freedom does. I free myself up. So 4 nights a week, I leave work and I go do something physically active that makes me a better person overall. Fuck, I'm getting all over the place. Last life hack that works for me is I drive quietly more often than not. That is my time for self-reflection. That is my time to sit and think about my life and where I'm at and what I did and where I'm going and what I want and where the gaps are. That's my time. I've done meditation. I've done walks. I've done these different things. And I found my happy place is driving quietly. And so for all these life hacks, my goal for you is simple. Reflect back on when you're happiest. Look at what actions and activities, what time, what people, whatever these things are, right, that make you happiest. And then how do you repeat them? Develop a process that'll create the discipline so you can look at yourself every day when you put your head on the pillow and say, okay, did I do the things that make me great today? Yes or no? And like in EOS, there's only 2 answers to a yes or no question. Hell yes, everything else is a no. So I can look at myself today, for example, it's 15:30. We did the show. I know when I come on here once a week, I have a good fucking week, right? So did I do the fucking thing? Absolutely. Did I tell the fucking world who I am? Absolutely. Did I fucking show up today? Right? Our producer is out. We've had a hell of a day here at the shop. I forgot to turn the air conditioning on, so I'm starting to sweat here, right? And yet, you know what? I still fucking showed up. I still made it happen. I came with my notes. I came prepared. I came to share myself with the world because that is a process that makes me feel good. That is a process that creates discipline and ultimately the freedom for me to live the life I want to live someday. Because someday I'm going to be out there doing keynote speaking year round in front of hundreds of thousands of people in an international audience because I'm putting the process in place today to be consistent with what makes me great. For you, figure out what those things are. Do that fucking thing. Tell the fucking world, and then show up for yourself. Show up for your family. Show up for the people that count on you all day, every day. We will see you next week.
Through all these miles and trials, all I've learned to do is smile. Is to smile.